From the Jackson County Animal Shelter Animal Services Director, Lydia Sattler. Hi, Lydia.
Hi, Bart. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
I know today was going to be a very exciting day for the Jackson County Animal Shelter, but the weather postponed a flight. What flight?
This was a flight from Texas, from Athens, Texas, full of dogs and puppies. Dog is my co-pilot, was transporting these animals to us, but the weather in Wisconsin, which was their next location, was too bad. They had to change it till April 26th for us.
Yeah, they're getting inches and inches of snow up there. So no dogs are actually flying the plane.
I hope not.
No. So there's too many dogs at this shelter in Texas, and how did they find out about you?
I received an email that said they saw on our Facebook page that we had a connection with shelters in Mississippi, and they asked if we'd be interested in partnering with them and if they could fly us some pets.
Wow, if you don't have enough to worry about, because you have to find homes for all the pets that you have,
Right.
Bigger challenge now to help other communities.
Right, and we try to, we do what we're able to do. If we have the capacity to help, we want to help. I feel like we have a great community in Jackson and our surrounding areas, and I don't think any of us feel that compassion is tied just to a county line or a state line. So if we can help other animals and prevent them from being euthanized that are happy and healthy otherwise, we'll do what we can when we're able.
That's great, because that's what would ultimately happen if they can't find.
Unfortunately.
And these dogs, do we know what kinds they are or anything about them?
There are so many. There's some white shepherd puppies. There are cute small dogs, just mixed breed puppies, some husky puppies. They're all adorable, but you're asking the wrong person. I think
Of course, they're all adorable. So they're going to arrive, and the need is so desperate that you heard this morning that they're asking people in Texas to drive them here?
Yes. When the flight was canceled, they were so devastated. They reached out and said, if we can find a driver, can we at least bring some of them up, via ground transport versus in the air, planning on to arrive here Wednesday. So, and we were already planning on taking the flight, so we said, yes, if you find the driver, we'll take them.
Wow. And the flight is rescheduled for?
The 24th.
This week? No, next week.
Next week.
Next week. Next Wednesday or Thursday.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
All right, so they'll eventually get here, and then, but you've got dogs to adopt right now, dogs and cats, and you'll have more next week. So
right.
People want the pick of the litter, right?
Exactly. And I think that's kind of a good thing too. It also benefits people who are looking. I think a lot of people want to support adoption, but they can't always find exactly the animal that they are looking for, at a shelter. So providing a variety that's going to be a good match for their family, we're happy to help do that.
So if anyone wants to adopt one of these southern dogs, they might have a southern bark.
Right.
They can.
Yeah.
How do they go about that?
They can come in to the shelter anytime that we're open. They can apply online. Just go to our website, and all the information on how to adopt is there. And they can adopt out of state or out of the county as well. So
awesome. And you've been very busy. You've had a lot of growth at the animal shelter. First, in terms of number of animals that you've taken in, you've more than doubled in just the last 3 years.
Right. Every year it seems to be going up about 1,000 or so more. And 2022 was not really a true representation of our normal operations because of construction. We had to shut down for a period of time. So,
the pandemic.
Yeah. Go ahead.
4,871 animals you took in last year?
Yes. Yeah, and that's when we had limited operations. So I expect that to be even higher this year. It's gone up a lot.
It's 100 a week.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Is my math right?
You're right.
Wow. And then you have adopted a lot as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. There's a lot. So we stay very busy. We only have 2 full-time clerks. If you do the math on that and figure out how many.
I don't know how you do it. I've been there, and it's a zoo. Pardon the pun.
It is. It is.
So how do these? 4,871 animals were taken in at the shelter. So how did they get there?
A variety of ways, animal control, owner surrender, just stray animals that people find and bring into the shelter.
And there's certain areas of Jackson County that are known, and I'm not even going to say where they are, but they're known as dog and cat dumping grounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's terrible.
Right.
So those dogs will either end up at the shelter or just they'll be feral.
Right. That happens.
Wow.
We hope they end up at the shelter so we can at least give them a safe place to be, and food, water, and a roof over their head.
Well, it's nice that we as a community approved millage for the shelters so that we could do certain things, because for a long time we had nobody that was out collecting animals that were stray.
Right. Yeah, and I'm so grateful that the workload is off of law enforcement, and seeing how many bite calls we have. There's a lot of dogs out there that, potentially can really harm someone. And animal control, they work really hard to make sure that our communities are safe.
Yeah, every week I see in the police blotter there are dog calls.
Mm-hmm.
Either they're loose, they're stray, they bit someone.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty big problem.
Right, we stay super busy. I don't know how they did it before animal control was brought back, but we're really grateful to be able to provide this service.
Plus, there are people. Do they just show up at the animal shelter and
Mm-hmm.
drop dogs off?
Yes.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Do you try to talk them out of it?
We always try to encourage people to keep their pets with their family if possible, and by offering different resources. And if that is absolutely not an option, then we're going to help
Yeah,
them
and I
out.
can see, that somebody passes away and
Right.
they're forced to move and they can't. But oh man, it's got to be hard because they're part of the family.
Right. Yeah. I know it's difficult on people. There's a lot of housing insecurity right now, and
Mhm.
financial struggles with everything that's going on. So I know it's just a difficult time for pets as well as it is for people right now.
Well, I know the community funds the animal shelter through taxes, but also through donations and fundraisers.
Correct.
What's the
Correct.
next one?
I'm so excited. Our second annual Bark and Brew is coming up.
That was a huge hit.
Oh, it was so much fun. If I didn't even work for the animal shelter, I would still go. I loved it. So if you like craft beer, or if you like dogs, you should come. If you like both, you definitely need to come. So it's a great time. We have food trucks, live music, there's auction items, and all the craft beer sampling. And I forgot to bring a glass. We have the coolest little sampling glasses that are free for the first
neat.
150 tickets.
They actually make, there are people that make beer for dogs. It's not real beer. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I just actually saw it for the first time last week.
I was suggesting to the folks at Daniel L. Jacob and Company that they could make a Stella Artois.
That's a good one.
Yeah. They, again, like the Ella, they don't take me up on my name.
I think you're onto something.
I hope so. One of these, it's going to hit. We have a gallery online from last year's event. If you weren't able to be there, check it out. And what a fun time.
It was a great time. I hope to see everybody back again, and even more people coming.
Try to make it Saturday, May 20th, but you can buy your tickets right now.
They're available right now.
And you've grown. You've added to the building.
Yes, we are still under construction. We're getting there, working at a fraction of capacity for large dog space. But things are coming along really nicely, and we're hoping by June that we'll be able to invite everyone to see our open house and see our new building.
What does this do, the construction? Does it increase the capacity of the number of animals you can hold?
It increases the capacity. It reduces disease transmission by having separate isolation areas. It gives appropriate places for animals when they come in to be processed and housed. So that's our new community room there too, which we've had a few events in, and that's been a lot of fun.
And that's right there at the shelter?
Right there at the shelter, yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have not seen this in person because the shelter, it really is, you're using every inch of space.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it was never designed to be an animal shelter, you know, the way that we operate. So having this addition, I think, is going to really make the changes needed to have better operations and a smooth process for intake and outcome.
And it looks beautiful. Who did the work?
Mercer.
Oh, well, first class as always from Mercer. Looks great.
It's looking good.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Love the floor.
I'm so thankful again for our community to support, because none of this would be possible. You know, we've saved so many more animals, you know, since the millage passed, and I'm just really grateful for that.
Yeah. What kinds of things can, besides going to the fundraisers, what kinds of things can the community do to help the shelter?
Oh, there's so many ways, from, you know, very simple as far as like sharing our social media posts on Facebook, try to get animals back to their homes, you know, promote adoption, you know, come and visit us. They can volunteer, monetary or in-kind donations. You know, there's so many easy ways and to help support everything that we're doing.
Yeah, and I like what the community is doing to help the Lost and Found Pets of Jackson Facebook page that Ben Lataki at Production Realty started up. That seems to be very successful.
It is helpful. In fact, when we get pets in and there's no identification on them, we'll go to that page to see if anyone posted that they're missing, trying to find who may be missing that animal.
Are animals, you know, microchipped so that they can't be geolocated,
Right.
but if you find them, then you can scan them.
Correct. And they have to be registered, because even if they have a chip, if you don't have your information registered, it's not helpful.
Yeah, here's the Facebook page that Ben sponsors. If you run across a dog that's lost, take a picture of him or her and pop it on Facebook, Lost Jackson Pets, and if your dog or cat is missing, that's the first place you need to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a great resource for all of us.
Plus, people can volunteer. Do you have the dog walkers and things, and then short-term adopters?
Absolutely. Yep. We have our foster program, our volunteers, people that just come in and walk dogs or sit and play with the cats. Lots of options.
Well, we'll be covering the Dog is My Co-Pilot flight when it comes in next week.
Okay.
And thanks for all you do for the animals and animal lovers of Jackson County.
Well, I appreciate you having me here, and thank you for your support as well. So, and I just want to mention too, we have free vaccines for dogs and cats right now. If anyone needs one, you don't need an appointment. Just stop in. Anyone lives in Jackson County.
Awesome.
Yep.
Perfect. And the Jackson County Animal Shelter is located on Spring Arbor Road near Robinson Road, across from Lumen Christi. Thanks to Jackson County Animal Services Director Lydia Sattler. Next on the show,